Thank you very much for joining us in this live session on today, the 4th of March 2021. Trying to get more people on this live session, so we're just sharing the link to this session to them. Okay, so we'll begin with breaking news, stock market update. This is for today, the 4th of March 2021. Says virtual events firm Hopin doubles valuation in 4 months to $5.6 billion. Hopin, a British-based provider of virtual events, has raised $400 million from venture capitalists including Andreessen and General Catalyst in its latest fundraising round that more than doubled its valuation to $5.6 billion in 4 months. As the COVID-19 pandemic kept people indoors to try to contain its spread, conferences moved online, benefiting Hopin, which Chief Executive John Beaufort said will be ready for an initial public offering by next year. The company, which also counts IVP Couture, DFJ Growth, North Zone, Salesforce Ventures, amongst its investors, had raised $6.5 million in February last year, $40 million in June, and $125 million in November. Talks about new fundraising started a month earlier, Beaufort told Reuters. Okay, so these are some of the pieces of news that is out at the moment. So this one says this is an update. Hippo to go public in $5 billion merger with Mark Pincus, Reid Hoffman, SPAC. Hippo Enterprises said they will go public through a merger with blank check firm backed by Silicon Valley heavyweights Reid Hoffman and Mark Pincus in a deal that gives the merger entity a pro forma enterprise value of $5 billion. Founded in 2015, Palo Alto-based insurance technology startup Hippo sells homeowners insurance online. It raised $350 million at a valuation of around $1.65 billion in its latest funding round last November, according to data from PitchBook. The deal with special purpose acquisition vehicle Reinvent Technology Partners Z will include a private investment of about $450 million. Hippo acquired home insurance maintenance platform Shelt in 2019, followed by the acquisition of rival property and casualty insurer Spinnaker Insurance Co. last year. SPACs are shell companies which raise funds through an IPO to take a private company public. Hippo's deal with Reinvent is the latest in a string of insurance tech firms or insurtech that are what they are now. They're popularly referred to as SPACs. They're probably referring to taking the SPAC merger route to public. Okay. What are the news? Is ETF futures in the red on rising bond yields, pulse speech, jobless claims, data still ahead. Broad market exchange traded funds such as SPDR, S&P 500 ETF, Trust SPY slipped into negative territory today, Thursday, the 4th of March 2021. Actively traded Invesco QQQ Trust Series was down 0.5%. US stock futures were also in the red in pre-market trade. As bond yields hovered near their highest in 2021. Investors will be looking ahead to the speech of the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell at a media conference at 12:05 p.m. Eastern US time, with comments sure to be parsed carefully for clues to central bank policy. And I think on the economic calendar, the Challenger job cuts report at 7:30 a.m. Looking ahead, the weekly job claims bulletin will be posted by 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Also at the same time will be the Q1 productivity and cost release, expected to show rise in labor costs. The factory orders for January bulletin will be released at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then EIA natural gas inventories will be posted at 10:30 a.m. Eastern US time. Okay, so some of these other stocks: Kroger, Burlington Stores, Toro, Sienna will report their earnings pre-bell, among others. So these are some of the stocks to watch to see what's going to happen with them. So let's have a look already. Let's get those down. Kroger. Kroger is one of them. Burlington Stores, BURL, Toro, TTC, Sienna, CIEN. So yes, and obviously from our thumbnail, you could see we mentioned Cathie Wood's investment. It says here on Wall Street Journal. It says Cathie Wood's ARK investment faces reckoning as tech trade stalls. ARK Investment Management LLC's winning bets on disruptive technology companies cemented Cathie Wood's status as Wall Street's hottest fund manager since Peter Lynch or Bill Gross. Now, these gambits threaten to make ARK a high-profile casualty of the recent shift in investor sentiment away from tech stocks and towards cyclical shares tied to an economic upswing. ARK runs 5 exchange-traded funds that actively invest in companies. Ms. Wood and her team of portfolio managers believe will change the world through what they call disruptive innovation. Among the ETF's biggest holding are electric car maker Tesla Inc., payments company Square, and streaming media firm Roku Inc. Stock prices of those 3 companies have surged at least 195% in the year since COVID-19 upended the investment landscape, helping ARK's funds more than double over the same period. But stocks dropped more than 12% last week amid a broader sell-off in fast-growing tech stocks. A slump many attribute to sharp rise in government bond yields. They have badly underperformed the technology-heavy Nasdaq Composite Index, which dropped 4.9% last week. Worries about a rising interest rate environment have posed a test for ARK, exposing the vulnerabilities of its investment approach. Higher yields generally make growth stocks, including shares of big tech companies, less attractive. Plus, some ARK's positions are in small illiquid stocks that have the potential to swing dramatically. ETFs suffered double-digit percentage decreases last week, their biggest rout since the stock markets plunged last March, according to FactSet. Further declines among growth stocks on Tuesday and Wednesday drove even deeper drops among ARK's funds, bringing declines for its flagship ARK Innovation ETF 14% over the past month. The cascade of red has proved hard for many investors to stomach. ARK's funds collectively lost more than $1.8 billion between February 24th and Monday, the 1st of March, their biggest stretch of outflows ever, according to FactSet. Together, they managed roughly $51 billion at the end of February, making ARK the 9th largest ETF operator. That's after attracting $36.5 billion in assets over the past year, more than Invesco, Charles Schwab, and First Trust, the 4th, 5th, and 6th biggest ETF issuers in the US, according to Morningstar Direct. But the recent outflows triggered sales across ARK's funds to meet redemptions, while the firm also opted to dump shares of easier to trade holdings, including Apple and Snap Inc., to load up on favorites like Tesla. With tech stocks continuing to fall, ETF analysts and traders worry that the combination of broad market declines and additional outflows could create snowball effect across ARK's portfolio that could potentially cause some of its more illiquid small cap holdings to trade sharply lower. Tom Stored, ARK's chief operating officer, dismissed concerns of any liquidity problems and said ARK's ETFs have continued to perform as any other ETF would during the tumult. Still, it has been a rough patch for ARK and its star stock picker, Miss Wood. Okay, yes, if you're there, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. We're just covering what's going on with ARK Investment. ARK Investment is by far probably the most popular of ETFs. The founder itself, Miss Wood, is a super rock star. So we're just covering what Wall Street Journal had to say about her and her investment. So they went on to say, what a crazy week or two we've had. Miss Wood said in a YouTube video posted on Friday, the 25th of February 2021, that was viewed by nearly 600,000 people. Miss Wood founded ARK in 2014 and now serves as its CEO and Chief Investment Officer, following its 12-year stint at AllianceBernstein. Her fund's eye-catching performance, coupled with her willingness to engage investors through social media, podcasts, and videos, has earned her a variety of endearing monikers from individual investors and Reddit's day traders, including Mama Kathy, Auntie Kathy, and in South Korea, Money Tree. ARK Fund's 2020 narrative of secular growth. ARK Fund's 2020's narrative of secular growth, but we are now seeing shift in that, says Stephen DeSantis, an equities analyst at Jefferies. It probably won't be the last time in the near time she sees outflows, Mr. DeSantis added, referring to Miss Wood. As of last week's pullback, ARK's returns have been the envy of the asset management industry, reviving some investors' belief in stock pickers after more than a decade of dominance by index tracking funds. The ARK Innovation ETF has logged an average annual return of 36% since it started trading in 2014. That compares with the S&P's average return of 11% over the past 10 years. There's been a lot of calls with clients over the last 6 months as the funds get gained assets, and the price conversation has been about what happens when the funds are no longer a hot topic, said Martin Cathall, director and head of ETF trading at Cowen. Mr. Stored said ARK has a soft limit of about 10% on any one stock within its funds. Tesla stock sits at that level in ARK's innovation and autonomous funds, and does Square in ARK's FinTech Innovation Pool. As for ARK's exposure to smaller stocks, Mr. Stored said those worries are overblown and pointed to the fact that about 15% of ARK's innovation funds is invested in stocks with market caps below $5 billion. If anything, the volatility has created attractive buying opportunities for ARK. Mr. Stott added. ARK loaded up more shares on Tesla, Teladoc Health, and Square during the last week's sell-off, according to ARK's daily trading logs. It also added more shares of Zoom Video Communications to one of its funds earlier this week. Amid the redemption across ARK's funds, the firm also sold shares in some of its more widely traded liquid stocks. The firm cut its position in Apple and Snap last week and sold all its remaining shares in Salesforce.com, he added. ARK also sold shares of Facebook, Bristol Myers Squibb, and Roche Holdings this week. It's almost like having dry blower in a portfolio, said Mr. Stott, referring to how the funds basically build up a cash-like reserve to buy other stocks. Not all investors are faced by ARK's big-footed approach to investing. Flows into ARK's Innovation Fund turned positive Tuesday, pulling in $464.3 million according to FactSet. But ARK's most recent stumble continued to shake out others. Paolo Campisi, a 31-year-old entrepreneur in Toronto, bought shares in ARK's Innovation Fund in early February but sold his stake last week after shares dropped more than 10%. He decided to take a riskier bet on an eventual rebound by buying out of the money calls options that expire at the end of the month. But he sold those options as well Wednesday when ARK's flagship fund fell an additional 6.3%. I think everyone's going to be challenged moving forward, Mr. Campisi said, adding that he's unsure at what level he will consider buying back into the fund again, and the level of scrutiny on someone like Cathie Woods is going to be high. Okay, so we have people have contributed to that. Yeah, if you just joined us, thank you very much. Subscribe, like, and share. We obviously know that you may have heard that Cathie Woods has lost so far 20% of lost about 20%. That's what's just simply said. Since what, in 12 days or something like that. Yeah. So then this guy says, has no one ever heard of market pullback? What is the point of these comments or even this article? Markets pullback after unprecedented rally and rise in bond yields. Of course, our funds dropped 10%. And did you even bother to read the part where they are all 180% still? You are all the guy in the story who bought in, watched it drop, sold, bought OTM calls, and then paper handed those as well. Yeah, more of the boomer common sense wisdom that holds both markets are impossible to predict. Too, we are in a bubble, and I know exactly what will happen. Really, just bitterness and boredom at the end of the day. I did not see coverage of here of how ARK fared during the third quarter of March 2020 crash. Seems the liquidity claims are applicable to hedge funds and mutual funds, and that's ETFs. Okay, well, if something cannot go on forever, it will stop. I'm waiting to see the doomsayers. I'm waiting to see how doomsayers will handle this when ARK turns things around by staying the course. We're just way too impatient with the market. Just like playing all in Texas Hold'em. It works until it doesn't. It works until it doesn't, and ends badly. Has no one ever heard of a market pullback? Okay, we've read that again. Yeah. Okay, this fellow has Victoria has something to say. Disruptive innovation is one of those boss phrases that makes both the issuer of the phrase and its fervent adherents feel that they are ahead of the pack because it sounds jazzy and hot and, well, frankly superior, because unlike the poor plebs just plodding along, you are disruptive. You are in the know. Nothing mundane about you. But the reality is, as they say in the Game of Thrones, the lone wolf dies, the pack survives. If we envision humans as a pack, then being able to read the pack's wants and necessities as it hunts and forages through life is an investment strategy that may sometimes go out of favor but never loses efficacy because it acknowledges life is made up of mundane necessities. So yes, throwing all your money at the next or reigning Bigfoot of stocks can lead to outsized results for a time, but through truth be told, humans can absorb just so much disruption at a time. See the pushback to societal COVID-19 constraints. There's always a reversion to the mean of human behavior. Yes, that's a good take from Victoria Gabel. Since every few years the media names someone the greatest investor, the next Warren Buffett. Have no idea if Miss Wood's strategy of paying any price for some business model that grew by selling $1 bills for 93 cents will succeed over time is one thing, but to put her name in the same sentence with Messrs. Gross and Lynch seems a bit premature. With tech stocks continuing to fall, ETF analysts and traders worry that a combination of broad market declines and additional outflows could create a snowball effect across ARK's portfolio that could potentially cause some of its more illiquid small cap holdings to trade sharply lower. Indeed, the market can force someone to have. Indeed, if the market can force someone to have to act in a way, chances are fairly good that it will. Okay, enough of that, but we'll still have this from Barron's. They're saying the same thing as well. ARK's Red Hot ETF fell 20% in 12 days. The pain for tech stocks might just be the beginning. So if you still there, give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. And moving on, let's return and see whether there's any fresh news. Okay, S&P futures traded 7 points or 0.2% below fair value following yesterday's tech-driven retreat. Investors are awaiting a fresh batch of economic data and a speech from Fed Chair Powell. Mr. Powell will speak at the Wall Street Journal Jobs Summit at 12:05 p.m. Eastern US time. And although the market has already heard that he and other Fed officials aren't concerned about inflation or rising bond yields, the market will still look for any comments to ease recent jitters about rates. And you may, I don't know if you have seen this, says DraftKings, UFC roll out partnership to promote games, betting products DraftKings and UFC, a mixed martial arts organization, they say that Thursday they reached an agreement for DraftKings to become UFC's official sportsbook and daily fantasy partner in the US and Canada. The sports technology and entertainment company said it will be able to offer in-game promotions and UFC branding across its daily fantasy and betting products. It will also have a right to use UFC official UFC marks and logos. DraftKings said it will also provide fans with free-to-play UFC games, prop bets, and other sportsbook opportunities. Shares rose 4% in the pre-market. So let's go ahead and have a look at DraftKings. Let's look at let's see what's going on with DraftKings. So this is what you're looking at right now is GameStop. GameStop is up 0.18%. So it's quite bullish there right now. So let's look at DraftKings. So yes, it's up 4%. On the news of that partnership with UFC. So there are other stocks that are expected to now announce earnings outcomes today. Kroger is down 0.75%, but I believe at some point it was higher than that. Yeah, at some point it was higher than that. So the next one is Burlington Stores. It's up 6.46%. Toruco is unchanged. All of these are in the pre-market session, as the market hasn't started trading yet. So Sienna Cup is down 1.31%. We obviously know that DraftKings is also up 4%. Okay, currently up 2.74%. So let's see GameStop again. GameStop is up 1.51%. Currently strongly bullish momentum, very strong. AMC down 3.73%. Momentum is also still strong. BlackBerry down 1.77%. KOSS down 3.66%. SLGG. Super League Gaming Inc. is up 15.16%. Let's see, we have that stock as one of the big movers. If you just joined us, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. Okay, yes, SLGG, Super League. We might find some news concerning it. Super League Gaming Inc. market cap of $111.9 million, 21.487 million shares outstanding. Okay, there's some news. Okay, this is not new. Okay, the 1st of March, Super League Game initiated a buy at Magazine Group, so there isn't any fresh news, but it's up currently in the pre-market session, 15.36%. It appears to be in a strong bullish trend. Its 200-day moving average is upward sloping, and the MACD histogram is above zero. Momentum for SLGG is strongly bullish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. Yes, we can see it's rising. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So SLGG Super League Gaming up 17%. SKT, that is Tanja Factory Outlets, is up 21.59%. Let's see what it's not okay. It is. It's one of the movers. Let's see. SKT Tanja Factory Outlets up 19%, or roughly 20%. So I think so far 6.5 million shares have been traded in that pre-market session where we're looking at right now. $1.7 billion is the market capitalization. There isn't there isn't any fresh news. Okay. SKT appears to be in a strong bullish trend. Its 200-day moving average is upward sloping. The MACD histogram is above zero. Comparative relative strength analysis shows it's outperforming the S&P 500. So the SKT appears to be in strong bullish trend. Yes, no doubt about that. Strong bullish trend. You can see it has been in that trend since the 5th of November 2020. Relentlessly climbing non-stop. Pulls back, broke through supports, and even continued. See here, kept on riding the support at the 10-day. That's the 10-day trend line. Never ever, okay, just momentarily, or just one day or something like that, broke through. Just kept on. This is a highly bullish stock. Very strong signals. Momentum for SKT is strongly bullish, no doubt about it. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive, and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So SKT, this is SKT. So let's see what's going on. Let's plot a few Fibonacci lines and see. If you just joined us, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. Give us your thumbs up. So we draw from here. The ones going up are the extensions, the ones going downwards are the retracements. So as wide as we can plot it. But the problem is that we on this screen we can't see the higher the extension levels. So currently it is trading, obviously, since we started from where it was, so it's just at that price currently at based on where we started. It's 100% what I call it extension level or retracement level will be 21.27. So it's interesting to have these lines to see what's going on, how it's retracing, and these numbers are all natural numbers. You know, this the sort of numbers that events or nature distributes things. It could be the way nature distributes the seeds in a sunflower head, the way it distributes seeds in a corn cob, and all those things, sort of things, you know. So all of these are just natural numbers that Fibonacci discovered, and market participants have since been able to apply them in market events. It's obviously has no fundamental. It doesn't have any real bearing on what stocks are going to do. But the fact is that the algorithms are programmed to look at these retracement numbers and levels, so it is not irrelevant. So since the algos are watching these, then they are really, really important, because you know, if they see what's going on, if they see a certain amount of retracement, they may decide to trigger a buy or trigger a sell. So they're all very important. So right now it's trading below that 100%. Okay, let's call it extension level. It's trading below that now. But this is Tangier factory outlets up 18%. So let's look at clean energy. I'm not sure if clean energy will be trading right now. It's trading in traded in extended hours, but didn't continue to trade. Okay, it should be trading, I believe. Clean energy fuels up 5.63%. Let's see. I think you may have. I understand it probably bidding to merge with another company. Okay, we don't have clean here as one of the big movers. Okay. So clean energy fuels is up 5.95%. So these are just some of the few stocks that are making the rounds in the pre-market session. and we have here as well some news keeps on rotating. So let's see, do we have anything here? Okay, no wonder Kroger fell. It says Kroger forecasts full year sales below estimate. Okay, let's see. Kroger Co forecast annual same-store sales below analysts' estimate on Thursday, signaling a bigger than expected slowdown following pandemic-fueled rush for groceries that boosted its performance last year. Kroger said it expects adjusted same-store sale to fall 3% to 5%, compared with analyst estimate of 2.5% decline, according to IBES data from Refinitiv. So people are not that crazy about shopping for all they need, as they were some time ago last year, at about this time last year. Okay, so yeah, if you just joined us, thank you very much for doing so. We're covering the pre-market session, and to subsequently spill over into the main event when the markets open. So Gamestop is up 1.3% right now. It's been bullish for some minutes. Now, over 25 minutes now. It's been on the bullish trend. But before that time, there was a time it was trading in the negative, somewhere around here. It was trading in negative territory. That will be yes, anything from here, it closed at 124.18. So anything below, exactly anything below somewhere here-ish or thereabout, somewhere here was negative there. So all of these down here were negative until it broke through all of its trend lines, apart from the long-term trend line. It's not in the picture right now, and that it also now pulled up again, sought some resistance at the volume weighted average price, pulled back again, and that was the end of that bearish trend, and since looked up, and that even spurred it on to this high of $126.3, and since pulled back and broke through the 10-day trend line, but has continued and keeps on getting support from that same trend line as well. So Gamestop up 1.26% in the pre-market session of the 4th of March 2021. If you just joined us, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, and share. AMC down 3.61%. KOSS Corporation down 30% as well. So let's have a look and see if we can plot some retracements and extensions for Gamestop. So we'll begin from here where it is at the moment. So based on what we have plotted, it's just broke through. Okay, it just briefly broke through that 100% extension level. Currently seeing some resistance at the 20-day trend line, but now, yeah, fluctuates between that 20-day trend line and the 125 price line as well. So currently trading below that 100% extension level. Let's replot again. So we're going to pull down because we also want to involve retracements and extensions. So yeah, it's breaking through now, broke through that 20-day trend line, but getting support at the intermediate trend line, tracing back up again, just in between the 100% and the 676% extension level. Right now it's below that, and currently resting on the quite fluctuating widely now. So it's consolidating between the 100% and the 50%, 100% extension level and 50% retracement level. That is where it has been fluctuating, but yeah, currently above that 100% extension level, which has a price of $125. which is currently up 0.98%. If you've just joined us, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. We've got 1 like now. Let's make it 2, folks. If you're there, give us another 1. Let's make it double. So let's refresh. There might be some fresh news again. Some news concerning GM. It says General Motors says it's looking for a site to build a second US battery factory with joint venture partner LG Chem of Korea. The companies hope to have a decision on the site in the first half of the year. Spokesman Dan Flores said Thursday. Flores would not say any where the company is looking, but it's likely to be near GM Spring Hill, Tennessee factory complex, which is one of 3 sites the company has designated to build electric vehicles. A joint venture between GM and LG Chem currently is building a $2 billion battery factory in Lordstown, Ohio, near Cleveland, that will employ 1,000 people. The site is fairly close to GM's 2 other designated electric vehicle plants, one in Detroit and the other north of the city in Orion Township, Michigan. GM is likely to need far more battery capacity if it's able to deliver on a goal of converting all of its new passenger vehicles from internal combustion engines to electricity by 2035. LG Chem now has a battery cell plant in Holland, Michigan, that supplies power to the Chevrolet Bolt hatchback and the new Bolt electric SUV. Industry analysts have said that automakers face a global shortage of batteries as the industry moves away from gasoline-powered vehicles. Most of the world's batteries are built in China and other countries. The Wall Street Journal first reported that GM and the LG Chem are pursuing a site in Tennessee to build a new battery plant. So that will prompt us to have a look at GM. All we need to do is just remove an E here and we're there. Okay, GM up 1.08%. Okay, and at some point it was slightly higher than that, but it's looking up. The stock is quite bullish at the moment, though it hasn't done a lot to conclude anything. So let's see if we can also give it a Fibonacci as well. From there we plot. So we are just bringing it as low as it was at some point today. So it's just trading on its 100% extension level, which is also where we plotted from. GM up 1.2%. If you're there, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, and share. Okay, there's also some more news on Kroger. Today, Kroger reported fiscal quarter loss of $77 million after reporting a profit in the same period a year earlier. The Cincinnati-based company said it had a loss of 10 cents per share, earnings adjusted for non-recurring costs, and 81 cents per share. The results exceeded Wall Street expectations. The average estimate for 8 analysts surveyed by Zacks Investment Research was earnings of 69 cents per share. The supermarket chain posted revenue of $30.74 billion in the same period, which fell short of street forecasts. 5 analysts surveyed by Zacks expected $31.01 billion. For the year, the company reported profit of $2.59 billion or $3.27 per share. Revenue was reported as $132.5 billion. Kroger expects full-year earnings in the range of $2.75 to $2.95 per share. Kroger shares have climbed roughly 5% since the beginning of the year, while the S&P 500 index has risen roughly 2%. The stock has climbed 13% in the last month. So we've looked at Kroger before, so we'll look at it again. Okay, now in the positive. Earlier on it was in the negative, now up 0.87%. If you just joined us, subscribe, like, and share. We've got 1 thumbs up. Somebody make it 3. Okay. You want us to have a look at ANTE? The market is not open yet, but we'll just have a look. They may be trading. ANTE. Okay, it trades in the pre-market, so it's up 2.96%. It's currently trading below its I think the trend lines have all converged. Yes, the short-term trend line has converged with all of its short-term trend lines, and trading slightly below the intermediate trend line. So let's see whether we can find any news concerning it. Airnet Technology Inc. Okay, there's any fresh news there. So based on what has happened in the short term, we can see it's also trading below its short-term trend lines. Market cap of $60.7 million. Roughly 3 million shares are outstanding, but momentum as measured by the 14-period stochastic oscillator doesn't look so good. So we'll see here. It says Ante appears to be correcting within a longer-term bullish trend. Let's have a look. The longer-term bullish trend is the 200-day trend line. In this case, it's correcting within a longer-term bullish trend. Yes, going by the figures up to 20 days back. You can easily see that it is likely to be correcting. It's likely to be less than 10% of the closing price, either 20 days or 10 days back. So yeah, momentum for ANTE is strongly bearish. We saw that the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is below 20. Yeah, we can see that it's below 20. It's at 19.3, the level which many analysts call oversold. This means that investors have been actively selling shares and driving the price lower. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So it has poor momentum but positive volume, and also trading below its short-term trend line. That can also imply some positives. You can see it's trading at a discount, and volume is also increasing. Momentum is not there yet, meaning that momentum might come in. So yes, it's quite an intriguing stock, trading at a discount. We can do that. That chart we saw there. Now we can do it here. Daily chart. That's that chart on this tool. So it's currently at $4 and 0.0599, roughly $4.06. So let's add some Fibonacci. Well, let's see. Do we have? It's not. I think it's not currently not trading. I believe, because we know I've selected this pre-market. It's not. No. Well, for some reason it's not. Doesn't have data for that. All right. Sorry. This is because it's in the pre-market, so you can't. Sorry. This is a daily chart. There's no need for all that. So this is just going to be really static. So let's do some retracement and extensions. So we will, for the sake of where it has traded, we'll extend this all the way down here. Sorry, we'll retrace it all the way down, because this is where this is where its root is. So we can see that currently its short-term trend lines are in the extension level. They're in the extension levels, whereas obviously since we plotted these lines from where the price stopped, we can't exactly say. But based on what we did, obviously this is just a reaffirmation that it is trading at a discount to its short-term trend lines. If this is anything to go by, if this high of $6.475 that occurred in March, if it's anything to go by, and also the fact that momentum is not there yet, it's trying to come up based on what the last 20 records are saying. Yes, you can say for some that is not positive. It's a negative signal. The fact that the price is we can actually see it's looking up. The price is looking up, but the momentum is not. But in the reverse, you can say, yeah, maybe the momentum is going to catch up soon. So if you want to take that as a positive, and especially the fact that in the short term it is trading at a discount, if you want to take that as positive, you can always run with it. Yeah, thanks. We've got 2 likes now. Let's increase the likes. So we didn't find out what exactly NNVC technology does. We can always find out. So the market is opening in about 42 minutes. So okay, sometime last month it regained compliance with Nasdaq's minimum market value rule. So let's go down and see what NNVC does. NNVC Technology Inc., formerly Air Media Group, is a China-based holding company principally involved in the provision of in-flight solutions or connectivity, entertainment, and digital multimedia. The company provides Chinese airlines and with seamless and immersive internet connections through a network of satellites and land-based beacons, furnish airline travelers with interactive entertainment and coverage of breaking news, and provide corporate clients with advertisements tailored to the changing perceptions of the travelers. The company primarily operates its businesses in the domestic market. So this is an ADR, I believe. Let's have a look. Yes, it is an ADR. Yes, it is an ADR. Yeah. So yes, for now it's also a stock that is likely to benefit from the reopening. It's a stock that easily is aligned with the airlines and stuff like that. And right now, one of the rotations we are obviously seeing is rotation away from growth to value or reopening stocks. And indeed, airlines are right in the mix of all of those reopening stocks. So that even brings our attention to American Airlines. It's up 0.9. You can see it's strongly, based on this daily chart, it's strongly bullish. You see what's going on here. So people have already started betting on it even before the reopening has taken sufficient hold. So we can see it's during this session. You can see it went sideways for a long time, for some time, not like a lifetime. And they had these triple bottoms within the price range of $22 price range. They had this triple bottoms, which sometimes can indicate that a breakout might occur, and it did occur. And after some time, again broke through the support at the 10-day level, 10-day trend line level. Moved up again, broke through again, getting some support at the 20-day trend line. So let's draw some extension and retracements. So we're just going to draw more of retracements, because obviously the retracements are below, and that is obviously, I mean, it will be necessary to do that to cover from there based on what we're looking at. So right now it is slightly above its 100% extension level based on where we plotted from. So we can always plot from wherever it is. I think else, I mean, we can from we can always the retracements and extension levels, it is from the current price. So we are definitely right on this. So currently it is just below its 100% retracement level, or rather it's right on it. It's still right on it, so moving sideways, has been doing so for some seconds now. American Airlines, a stock that is part of the rotation movement. United Airlines will be the next. It's up 0.51% as well. You can see strong bullish indications, very much like that of American Airlines. If you just joined us, subscribe, like, and share. We are covering the pre-market, and you may have heard that Cathie Wood's, it says here, according to Wall Street Journal, Cathie Wood's ARK Investment faces reckoning as tech trade stalls. And in the last 12 days, I believe some are purporting, according to Barron's, the publisher, they have investment ETF, and lost about 20%. So it says here, asks winning bets on disruptive technology companies cemented Cathie Wood's status as Wall Street's hottest fund manager since Peter Lynch and Bill Gross. Now those gambits threaten to make ARK a high-profile casualty of the recent shift in investor sentiment away from tech stocks and towards cyclical shares tied to an economic upswing. And we also know that of late, a few hours ago, the bond yields were also rising. The US futures were also some of the futures, apart from the S&P. I know it wasn't looking that good. Okay, these are futures. I think today you can see E-mini, S&P 500 negative, Nasdaq negative, crude oil positive, because they are all about the value and the reopening economic upswing, and an increase in the price of crude also is also associated with inflation, because crude will definitely hit your pocket, you and I, whether you are involved in the markets or not. You're associated with crude because it is still part of our lives. So it says here, S&P futures versus fair value is a negative 2.40. Nasdaq futures versus fair value minus 6.00. Okay, equities in Asia Pacific region ended Thursday on a broadly lower note. Among the weakest performers, China's National People's Congress began today and will continue through March 10. Japanese clothing retailer Uniqlo and GU will reportedly lower their domestic prices by about 9%. Japanese 30-year bond sales saw the lowest bid to cover ratio since 2016. Okay, the market is opening in about 32 minutes. So that is old, I think. So these are some of the stocks that are the most active at the moment. So we have SKT, Tanja Factory. Let's have a look. We've looked at it earlier. It's up 13.98%, but earlier when it was even higher than that, sometime it was up here. So we can see our Fibonacci has what has happened to it. It's going down and down, going downwards, I think. So that is because it has pulled away from the lows, or is it approaching them, one of those. So it's currently trading at based on the point at which we began. So where we plotted from, that's the base here, the 100% at $21.27. So it's currently at 19.9, roughly $20. So it's up 11, roughly 12%. So that means it was higher than what it is right now. So this is the daily chart for the pre-market session of the 4th of March 2021. Currently trading a volume of 122,000, roughly 123,000 shares at the moment. So it's spotting some negative trend and getting support at the 61.8% retracement level, which is at $19.91. You can see how it steadily declined. A progressive decline here. This was some serious some serious bearish trend here. Very well confirmed. There isn't any ambiguity about this bearishness, but it's still in that bearish mode. But this support is getting here might, not that it will, so suspecting that it might be the end of that. So let's look at any other one. SNGX, SolidGenix. Okay, so the GenX is up 15.53%. It's also moving sideways as well. Momentum, okay, still quite not too poor as well. Not too poor. Currently stands at 60. All of these are in the pre-market session. The market hasn't started trading yet. So let's pin our Fibonacci line, the base of it from here, and see how it goes. So we will also drop it down at where we have those triple bottoms. These triple bottoms, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so having done that, now we can see that it has, just within those few seconds, it has slightly inched up. So SolidGenix up 15 point, roughly 16%. Let's see whether there's any news on this stock, SolidGenix. If you're there, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like and share. Subscribe, thumbs up and share. Thank you. That has broadly been the case with SolidGenix, just sideways with a mix of pullbacks and extensions. Market cap of $48.1 million, 29.847 million shares outstanding. There's some news here. It says SolidGenix, obviously what is it called? It's a pharmaceutical stock. SolidGenix announces positive progress in the preclinical development of its COVID-19 vaccine. Says a late stage biopharmaceutical company focused on developing and commercializing products to treat rare diseases where there is an unmet medical need, announced today a publication of preclinical immunogenicity studies for CyVax heat stable COVID-19 vaccine program, demonstrating rapid onset, broad spectrum neutralizing antibody and cell mediated immunity is confirmed using full length Then the spike protein antigens. The article titled Recombinant Protein Subunit SARS-CoV-2 Vaccines Formulated with Covaxin HT Adjuvant Induced Broad Th1 Biased Humoral and Cellular Immune Responses in Mice has posted as an accelerated where did I stop? Accelerated preprints on BioRx IV available. Okay, this work will continue under a $1.5 million small business innovation research grant awarded to Soligenix in December 2020. The company's heat-stable subunit vaccine candidate for the prevention of COVID-19, the infection caused by SARS-CoV-2, ongoing collaborations with Axel Leher, PhD, associate professor in the Department of Tropical Medicine, Medical Microbiology and Pharmacology, John A. Barnes School of Medicine, University of Hawaii, Manoa, have confirmed the feasibility of developing a broadly immunogenic vaccine for COVID-19. So that is why the stock is up in the pre-market right now. So it's also a penny stock as well. So it's up roughly 20%, strongly bullish at the moment. Okay, since we plotted that, it has extended beyond it's now at it's just right on its 161.8% extension level, which is at the $1.9 $1.9 price. Gradually, slightly retracing now. So yes, thanks. We've got 3 likes now. If you're there, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. Okay, we hope we don't lose this connection. So let's see what's going on. The market is opening in about 18 minutes. You can obviously see that these are some of the stocks on the move. Tanja Factory, yes, we saw that. Burlington. Says here the top 3 NYSE percentage gainers pre-market: Tanja, Burlington Stores, Jaws Acquisition Corp. Okay, let's look at Jaws Acquisition. Jaws Acquisition up 8.81%. The top 3 NYSE losers. Okay, next Inc. So the top 3 percentage losers. Okay, top 3 Nasdaq percentage pre-market gainers: 10 Pharmaceuticals up 38.9%, Sovereign Bancorp up 30%, Allied Esports Entertainment up 22.8%. So let's look at 10 Pharmaceuticals. It's not, there isn't any change for some reason. Okay, let's look at the next one. Sovereign Bancorp. Yes, it's up 28.64%. Was even higher than that at some point. So we if it's up 28.6%, that means at some point it was up 42%. Yeah, something like that. So if we plot a retrace, an extension and retracement, so we'll see. We can't fit in a lot on this because of the way the chart is. But in any case, though, this is how it has traded. It has traded narrowly during this pre-market session. So let's close it. Let's remove that. maybe when the market opens we might try a different plot, but currently it is just been consolidating. So the next one is ALYI Esports Entertainment. Okay, we've looked at it. AESE. So it's currently up 26%. At some point it was higher than that. Some point it was at